I will love it if we beat them. Love it.
It's Friday night, it's 9 p.m. It's time for AEG Fridays with your hosts Carl and Ash.
Good evening. Welcome to AEG Fridays. This is a special pre-recorded one because as this goes out, I'm currently grafting on transfer deadline day, and Carl is probably lying on the floor somewhere sloshed.
Be more like Ollie.
Be more Ollie. That t-shirt's just too good, man. So as it's Thursday and we're not live, what you drinking tonight, mate?
Oh, do you know what? Everybody, tonight is water.
The tough stuff. I'm on the old juice again. Like.
Yeah, well, like I say, I'll be drinking something else tomorrow. I don't know what, but it'll be good.
It'll be better than water, that's for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Right, we've got to kick off with a negative. Liverpool. Bastards.
Yeah. Obviously, I was there. Was gutted for a good few days, to be honest with you. But as I said to a couple of people, I think that's the levels to aspire to. We had them on the ropes for most of the game. But we just didn't take our chances. We didn't take our chances, and I think on another day, if it hadn't have been for that world-ever save by Becker when the ball hit the crossbar and came back out, or Miggy's shot in the second half had it went to the other side of the post, you know, we could have went out 2-0 winners and put the game to bed. But it's just about levels, mate, and we're aspiring to be where Liverpool have been for the last 5-6 years.
That's it. I mean, statistically, we have the toughest start of the Premier League campaign, and to say that we've got 3 points off of the teams we've played, it's not really as bad as everyone's making it out. I think, like, if we don't pick up the points against Brighton, I don't think it's like cause for concern. Like, I'm not saying hit the panic button, but then there might be some justifiable moans and groans.
The thing is, if you look at what we did like for like last year, we beat Villa, you know, and we beat them 5-1 this time. So that's slightly ahead. I think it was 4-1 at home last time. We got beat off City 2-0. We lost 1-0, and we got beat at home off Liverpool 2-0 when Pope got sent off, and we got beat 2-1. So it's an improvement. It's just, I think, and obviously Brighton, we went down there 0-0. So, you know, it's like you say, statistically the hardest in the whole entire league in terms of the start. But I don't think we've played actually that bad in the games. We've controlled part of every game. So let's see what we do on Saturday.
Yeah, exactly. But before we get to that, there's been a bit of a meltdown again about tickets this week, but not for the reasons that were last week. I mean, you spotted a pocket of Liverpool fans dotted around the ground.
I was fucking furious. I was like, I'm not, and that's is this because, like, how? I just don't know. I don't know how there was pockets of Liverpool fans in the home end. Like, so fair enough, a Liverpool fan could have bought a membership, been really, really lucky, and got a ticket in the ballot. That's on the club.
It's probably an expensive way to get into an away ground, isn't it?
It is, but like it's just so infuriating. Where, like, and I wrote to obviously the trust, because obviously I'm a member of the trust, and I just said like surely, like, how is this even happening? Do you know what I mean? Like, I get, like, I've been to Goodison Park and sat on the Gladys Road end, like, and watched Newcastle Everton, and I didn't, like, we got beat, like, but I just sat there and, like,
you behave, don't you? If you're one of those people that gets in the home end, you behave yourself.
Exactly. And so I might be calling myself a bit of a hypocrite there by saying, well, I've been in there, but especially when it's virtually impossible to get tickets for the games and how hard it is for people to jump through hoops, yet you've got opposing fans. And it's not just a dig at the Liverpool fans. Like, it's any fan that comes there. And then it happened last season against Arsenal when that bell end in the wherever it was in the middle and the Leazer's end again, giving it Jimmy Big Bollocks, and he got lamped. You know what I mean? It's just
got But like you say, it's not so much the fact that it's happening. It's happening amidst all like clampdown on people, like even actual Newcastle fans being able to get tickets.
Yeah.
Like, more chance of winning the lottery these days, and you ever get a Newcastle ticket and get these away.
Exactly.
Away in.
And then not only that, the farce that they had with the people getting into the ground. So people were saying, like, they've well and truly fucked it up. That the people have been going to the game for like 20 plus years, being able to rock up to the stadium 10 minutes before kickoff, get straight in, no bother. Whereas I think it was 15 minutes before kickoff at the East Stand, there was massive queues.
Saw on Twitter, it's mental.
And do you know what, right? It isn't that hard to use. I don't care what anybody says. It isn't that hard to use it. It's not like when you use your mobile where you just put it, like you put the back of your phone on. You have to use, for whatever reason, you have to put the face of your phone.
The front.
But I just think there needs to be that if there is an issue, they need to have another area where they can do like spot checks or whatever they need to do to get that person in quicker, because it's having a knock-on effect. If you get 100 people in the queue and you get 10 of them, that's delaying it like 10 times. Do you know what I mean? So that's all I've got to say about that.
Absolute farce. I'm sure they'll get it worked out eventually, but it's just, you would have thought they'd done a bit more testing on it before they implemented it, wouldn't you? The whole system, I mean.
Yeah, even if I'd just said, like, come down to St. James's Park, we'll put like screenings on of some games and do some corporate stuff, and just got a couple of 100 fans on each stand to go in and do it, just to see how it was, you know what I mean, or whatever. So,
opportunity, man. We should be in there running the place.
We should, shouldn't we? I'll be wearing these t-shirts. I'll be
like, Mint. Speaking of Mint, had the Champions League draw. As we sit here right now, 24 hours in the past.
What Champions League draw? and then literally, as soon as the draw was made, it was literally like a look on social media. Like every Newcastle fan was like,
"That was me."
And then we did have it. We did have it, and then obviously that was the draw, which obviously, as you can see, it's Paris Saint-Germain, Borussia Dortmund, and obviously it was going to be AC Milan.
It's brilliant, isn't it?
It's just brilliant. I think a couple of people had something to say about it, like.
Vicky's always got something to say, hasn't she?
Right off of that draw. And then your little mate, nice.
He popped up at the start, didn't he, with that nice little jazz number before the draw.
I mean,
what the
like obviously we had the draw for the Carabao Cup, which turned out was done incorrectly, but it's not broken any rules because Newcastle should have been ball number 19, but like we discussed off air before, ball 19, ball 20, it's still got to come out. So
it's not a chance of coming out. Yeah,
it's not a fix. I hate it when people are like, oh, there's some sign of conspiracy. I've just been looking on Twitter. There's people thinking that
no.
Not only the EFL fucking got like fixing over and got an agenda, but now apparently UEFA have as well. It's like it's the look of the draw.
Yeah, that's why they do it the way they do it.
Exactly. And do you know what? Obviously, put these back up. Like, what's your opinion?
Shit yourself at first, because it looks like a group of death. But obviously, once it just settled and I had a good look at it, the phrase that I used to my mates was, "They're all big names, but they're not necessarily big teams anymore."
Yeah.
So there's no one there that we can't beat on our day. I don't think.
I don't think there's any. I don't think we like again, without sounding arrogant or whatever. It's St James's Park. Like none of them sides were like coming to us.
No,
Can you
definitely not.
imagine? Can you imagine, for instance, like the Borussia Dortmund ultras coming over and being in level 7? How mental that's going to be!
It'd be
Like
class,
with the
man.
noise that they'll have. So I just think it's absolutely brilliant.
Thing is, as well, like the Milan fans and the Dortmund fans, they're just as mental as we are, probably if not
Exactly.
more so. So hopefully, like, there's no bother. Everyone just gets together and has a damn good time over here and over there. Be mint.
I said to my daughter that if, like, obviously the Champions League, that I'd want to try and like take her to an away game, even if we can't get a ticket, just to sample the atmosphere and hopefully, you know, it's almost like some Geordies predicted what was going to happen. Let's look at this. So yeah,
that wasn't even a match.
That was recorded at the Sam Fender gig.
Not even at a match. You've got to love it, man.
Oh, but yeah, and also going back to the draw. So obviously going back to the draw, we've got this guy heading back over to Dortmund. Mr. Isak, when he was a young pup, obviously played for Dortmund. So that'll be an interesting. You know,
because I was looking at Sociedad and I just forgot about Dortmund.
Yeah, you've got obviously Tonali's returning back to Milan. You know, Paris Saint-Germain are not the force they were. They've lost obviously Neymar, Messi. So it'll be interesting.
Ekitike.
Yes, good in. Hope he comes on.
Oh, you'll get fucking
like the Everton fans.
Be mint. On the whole, good draw, really. I mean, the whole point of getting in the Champions League is to play the best. So, really, the thing is, no matter what group you get, does it?
Well, exactly, mate. And obviously, when you look at some of the other groups as well, I'll just pull the other groups up now. But when you look at the other groups, like it's one of them where there's obviously some. I think Group A, it's got Bayern Munich and Manchester United are in there, which will be a hard group. So you've got obviously, like, just looking at it now, you've got Bayern Munich, Man United, FC Copenhagen, Galatasaray. Even though I've watched the Premier League, I haven't been impressed with Manchester United. You'd expect them to still qualify with that. Maybe runners up to Bayern Munich, and maybe Galatasaray, because it's quite a difficult place to go to, coming third in that group. Sevilla, Arsenal, PSV, and Lens in that one. You'd expect probably Arsenal to top that, and it'll be a shoot. You know what Sevilla are like in cup competitions, pretty decent side. Napoli, Real Madrid, Braga, Union Berlin making their debut. How do you see that one going?
I mean, that's Real Madrid, isn't it? Straight away.
Napoli.
And yeah, probably. Well, yeah, definitely Napoli, actually.
Group D, you've got Benfica, Inter Milan, Salzburg, and Real Sociedad. I would have liked that group, like, for Newcastle to be in, but obviously not to be. What do you think of that one?
I like Benfica. Obviously, have they managed to keep hold of Gonzalez? I think they have, haven't they?
Yeah, so far.
It's not Gonzalez, is it? I don't know. But you know who I mean. They've managed to keep hold of the striker that we wanted last year.
Yes.
Is now worth 10 times more than what we want. Who were the other teams again? Sorry, Sevilla.
So Benfica, Inter Milan, Salzburg, and Sociedad. So Milan will be a good hard one, and maybe Real Sociedad as well. So I think they said Salzburg have qualified like think it's 5 years in a row or something now. So they're obviously building a bit of momentum. Group E, it's Feyenoord, Atletico Madrid, Lazio, and Celtic. Some decent sized teams in that. It's quite a tough group to call as
I was
well.
going to say that one's a tough one to call. I'd like
Yeah.
to see Feyenoord go through because they've got a couple of Newcastle lads on the books there.
Yeah, so that'll be interesting. I think you can't see past probably Madrid, and then I think it'll be a shootout between Feyenoord and Lazio for second, and then obviously you'd like Celtic to challenge, but I can't
Realistically,
see them getting much from there. And then obviously our group, as we've already discussed, Paris Saint-Germain, Dortmund, Milan, and us. Group G, Manchester City, RB Leipzig again, Red Star Belgrade, and Young Boys. That's probably like the easiest group for that City could have got, really, in terms of the season.
I think so.
So City will piss that, and I probably reckon it'll be Leipzig will qualify comfortably second for that.
And then going back home straight away.
And then the last group, which has got another team coming back after a long absence, Barcelona, Porto, Shakhtar Donetsk, and Royal Antwerp. So that'll be interesting. You'd probably say it'd be a shootout between Porto and Barca for that.
I'd say Barca probably comfortable Porto second.
So that's but like it said there, we've got some special nights to look forward to on Tyneside. So I think that's it. You know, the atmosphere with war flags and throw in the international, intercontinental, if you like, fans coming over. I think that'll add unbelievable carnival atmosphere. So yeah, I'm really excited. To be honest,
you know what? I haven't been for the Champions League. Like I haven't really got hyped for it yet until the music came on before the draw, and I was like, "Oh yeah. Oh, this is it."
Which version? The one when she got on the piano?
Not the jazz club version. That's fucking haunting me for the rest of my life.
No.
I wish I'd just tuned in 15 minutes late.
I know. Well, it was a good 15 minutes of absolute shite going on, but you know that's the razzmatazz that we like to do and all the rest of it. So just gotta get on with it. And everybody's going like on social media, just fucking get on with it. It's like just go out, just embrace it, just enjoy the draw,
take it in. It's been 20 years, man. That's what I was going to say. Like it's been 20 years since we've been in. Have they always had this jazz bent?
Yeah. But before that, we've obviously got Brighton on Saturday, another live televised game. Another fuck up in terms of transport for the Geordie followers to go down.
Yeah.
Fair play.
Strikes.
Exactly, but they've still managed to sell out, which is not a shock. I mean, obviously, like we said before, we drew 0-0 last season. Maybe should have had a goal rightly stood when Wilson put his foot up and someone jumped across. And
I forgot about that. Yeah, that was an absolute
but like some of the other guys have been saying who we talked to, like Brighton play some lovely football, but they don't seem to have like an end striker. There's rumours that they're on the verge to signing Fatty from Barcelona, yeah. So it might have already have just gone through, but it was like virtually gone through. So
yeah,
I mean, unless they get him in and he goes straight in, I don't think he'll play on Saturday. But
I mean, he'll be registered in time, so you never know.
Yeah, possibly. It's just obviously whether like he's fits in time.
Yeah.
Formation wise, normally we'll put a slide up, but because we're pre-recording this, we're still waiting for the team news. But it's likely that Sven Botman's out. Thankfully, just one game.
There's talk that he might make it tomorrow.
But would you, if he makes it, would you still keep Dan Burn left back, or would you potentially look to introduce Hall?
Eddie Howe said he's not quite match fit, and that's like I know obviously there's match fit and then there's Eddie Howe match fit, which is what Anthony Gordon struggled with when he came in. So yeah, I don't know if he's ready yet, but I'd love to see him. Even if he
comes on. Yeah, maybe if he comes on. I'm happy either way.
Do you maybe just rest Botman anyway and not risk aggravating whatever it is he's done?
the thing is, what you've got to think about, mate, is after this game, we've got the international break anyway. So he's going to get a rest.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If he's fit enough to train, if he's fit enough to train, mate, he's fit enough to play.
True. Yeah.
So we'll have to just see what happens in the next sort of 24 hours.
Should you make any more changes? Almiron come out maybe? I mean, like it's a weird one with Almiron because he had like the most bipolar game. He obviously brought that worldie save out of Alisson. He hit the post, but then there was other times where he was running into space and then just making the wrong call.
I think the frustrating thing for Almiron, and this isn't me having a go at him at all because he works his balls off and Eddie Howe loves him because of that, is that he gets into those positions time and time again and he's not finishing them. And at the top level, if you want to sit at the top table, you have to take those chances. And this is what I was talking to you about levels. Darwin Núñez come off the bench. I think he had 3 opportunities to score 2 goals.
Yeah, exactly.
And the finishes were both fucking exquisite finishes as well, mate.
Amazing.
So Almiron hit a couple of them over the bar in the first half. He just seems to sort of snatch shots. I think long term, because he's 29, I'd have him as a squad player all day long.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You can bring him in to run teams ragged. I know there's no easy games in the Premier League, but other than the traditional top 6, take us out of it for a second. I think you'd want to play your best team against those sides. But then when you play maybe the rest, you could play an Almiron because he's probably good enough to play against those. But at the top level, like Champions League, you need to take those games there. We've got every chance of winning those games at home, but we need to take our chances. So, you know what, mate? I'd maybe start Wilson and give Isaac and put Isaac on the bench. I know he offers loads more, but Wilson's like they've been rotating them, so I maybe like to see Wilson. I don't know, but I would drop
hunger. I don't know. Do you listen to the Footballers Football podcast? Him and Michael Antonio.
I haven't for a while.
Just he's chomping at the bit now, like Wilson. He's starting to get pissed off, and I think when that happens, it's usually when you get the best out of him. Well, I'd agree with you. Maybe give him his time.
If you look at episode 3 of the documentary, it focuses on Callum Wilson. It talks about his past and his drive, and the fact that he had a little bit of a rough upbringing made him, more determined to do the right thing. So, like he's probably got another this season and another next season at Newcastle before we probably then kick on again and try and sign someone like an Isak as to challenge Isak, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So other than that, and what I would say is please anyhow keep Tonoli on for the full 90.
I know. Stop bringing. I mean, it's like he has this plan in his mind, and then regardless of how things are going on the pitch, he just goes ahead with it anyway. Like he makes the same substitutions at around the same time all the time, and it's like, mate, leave Tonoli on. He's doing the job. Gordon is doing the job.
Yeah, Gordon was running. I mean, again, not talking about the game, but I thought Trent Alexander was very, very lucky to be still on the pitch, and Gordon ran him a new arsehole when he was on. I thought he was exceptional. And it's the Gordon that excites you. When he's played in the past and he looks glimpses of him looking brilliant. He's got totally different player to Sam Maximan, but he can get you on his feet with his his direct approach and his pace. And he's got that little lovely drop of the shoulder that gets him that little half a yard ahead of someone. Do you know what I mean? Not very many players are able to do that. Look one way, but then run the other way. Really, really clever football, I think.
Definitely. He's proven he's been worth that 45 million, definitely.
Yeah. Well, it'll be interesting to see. Hopefully, it comes on Prime at the right time tonight or tomorrow. And I'll watch that tonight, I think, and see what the the crack is and look really shocked.
Oh my God, Adidas!
Oh my God, yeah, Adidas is back.
What a surprise!
Yeah. So, there is something else that's been doing the rounds. We're not going to show any footage, or we're not gonna like put any tweets up. But it got made aware on, was it Monday or was it Sunday evening? Liverpool game.
Every day is just blending together.
Yeah, so that Jamal Lascelles, the previous week after the Man City game, had been involved in an altercation in the centre of Newcastle, where there was 8 lads apparently had set upon him, his 19-year-old brother, and his brother's and his friend, knocked his mate unconscious for 15 minutes apparently, which is bad shit.
It's bad.
Bloodied his brother's mouth, but Jamal Lascelles was, by all accounts, thought he was fucking Rocky in Rocky 3, like Adrian, he just like swinging and windmilling and whatever. But what do you take of it? Because he's got criticised for one being out, and obviously how it's gone on. What's your opinion?
It's weird because I had a bit of a debate about it yesterday, and I kind of flip-flop from both sides, because at the end of the day, what you doing out at 4 o'clock in the morning on a school night? But as Simon said, they are human. They're just people. Like they've got a right to live their lives as well. But obviously the club is supporting them 100%, and I totally get that, because it sounds like they got started on. He got threatened. You see in the video, he gets sucker punched in the back of the head before he does anything violent.
Yeah.
So yeah, self-defense, I can see that. But Audie was also saying that it doesn't look good on the club if we're defending somebody who does something like this. But I think
does what though?
Shit happens.
But I'll throw that back at you. Does what?
I know that's the thing. Like, he got involved in a fight, but he didn't start it.
But it is like, let's put this into context. If there's someone that you, as a family member that you love, gets lamped in the face, it doesn't matter who you are.
You don't stop and go, hang on, what's my profession?
I'm a Premier League footballer. It's 4 o'clock in the morning. No, it's instinct will kick in. So like you said, he got sucker punched in the back of the head. So that would have been a red mist for me, because that's one of the coward things I hate.
That's the lowest thing you can do.
You know what I mean? So that would have got me anyway. So I'd imagine it would have got him. The type of character that he is, where he's this one that is always forever coming forward with his opinions, and he's not afraid to speak out like he did way back before he got the captaincy, when everybody was like, "Ooh," in the changing room, and he told them all a new one.
Yeah.
So, like you said at the beginning there, what you doing out on a school night? But Eddie Howe would give them 2 days off. So whenever those 2 days off are in the week, you know, they're allowed. Like Simon,
how many days off did he get?
Pardon?
How many days off a year did he get? They don't get many, do they?
Well, they only get the summer, but the problem is, if you in the summer, if you are playing international football or whatever it is, then you're probably not going to get less time. I've not got a problem. It's just because he's a footballer, and it's just because footballers get followed and the paparazzi get on. It's an unsavory and unfortunate incident. However, he was put in a situation and he tried to protect the people that was around him. And I've not got an issue with that.
And like you said before, it took over a week for it to come out. So some opportunist somewhere's clearly leaked it or sent it to the media or something. The club were probably already well aware of it and dealing with it before it came out. So it just stinks of the cash grab, really. And
it's a shame. Unfortunately, mate, that's life. People, like we spoke about this the other week. You're going to get more clicks on bad news than you would on good news. That's just the fucking world we live in.
100%.
You know what I mean? But I think that's covers that, as in I support him.
I support him. My captain.
Yeah, exactly. And then I suppose it comes nicely into the final part of this show, as we call Artist of the Week. But this week, we're not looking for some new talent. we're bringing back some old talent from a long time ago in the
Before
form
my
of,
day.
yeah, and mine, in the form of Lindisfarne. And any of yous who know, the ones that sung Fog on the Tyne is all mine, not with Gaza, but the original one,
The
and
original.
a whole host of other ones. But the song we have chosen is Lady Eleanor, and I'll just put a quick snippet on now. I'm all right where I am.
Lush.
What a tune.
I would never condone such things, but you can just imagine lying on your bed, joint in your hand, and that going round on a record player next to you, can't you? Just instantly surrounded by brown and orange.
Yeah, it is a classic. Like, and to be fair, I think they are one of those types of bands that are heavily underrated.
Yes, 100%.
You know, obviously people probably know them from the Northeast, but there'll probably be people further afield that won't have heard of them that much. But I think if anybody hasn't and is watching this show tonight, definitely go and have a look at their back catalogue. They've got some absolutely classics like Run for Home. Is it Meet Me at the Corner? I'm not sure if that's what it's called. But in terms of, yeah, they've just got, like you say, they've just got absolutely like back catalogue of classics, really. And as I say, yeah, that's what it's called. So obviously I said Run for Home, Meet Me for Corner, Winter Song, which was obviously sung by Alan Hull, God bless his soul, Fog on the Tyne. But in terms of Lindisfarne as a whole, they were mainly during the early 70s, but they're still going now, to be fair to them, aren't
they? I didn't know that, like.
Yeah. They're still going now. And like you say, Alan Hull, who then did some stuff on his own, was obviously instrumental to a lot of their songs that were written and things like that. God bless his soul. But yeah, have a little gander of Lindisfarne if you haven't already done it.
Especially if you've got like a nice little glass of wine in your hand or something on a Friday night, just sit on the couch and chill out. Yeah. Just take up some bad habits. Listen to some 70s rock.
Do it. Right, well, I think that's come to the end of the show. Obviously, if you like what you see, click the subscribe button on YouTube, put some comments in below. Obviously, we haven't been able to interact with yous this week, but we'll be back next week where we will be able to interact with you with a new artist of the week and hopefully something to talk about, which is good. Hopefully a win and some positive stuff to talk about. So I suppose that's it, mate.
Yeah, that's it from me, and that's it from him, I think.
Yeah, and then we'll just play our little thanks sponsor, and we'll see you next week.
See you. Cheers.
Thank you for watching AEG Fridays. We will be back. In the meantime, please check out matic723.co.uk for all your football print needs. Check out using coupon code WAYN10 for 10% off your order.